So welcome to Question Marks. This is in honor of Brady, who is still recovering from being in the hospital. So we're going to talk about health today, and I will be guiding the health ship. My name is Rob, and with us today are...
the healthiest people in the world.
There you go.
And Grayson.
And who else?
That's funny.
Brandy, hey. Really funny.
Hope, as always.
And I'm Cam.
Sup, Cam?
And I don't go to Taco Bell 6 times a week.
But if you'd like to sponsor us, Taco Bell, Question Marks Podcast.
Heck yeah.
I love you. Bye. Is that the
Okay, so since we're going to talk health today, and health, all kinds of health, physical, mental, financial. First question, let's talk physical health. Do you think you have a healthy diet? And if not, what do you want to add or subtract to it?
Absolutely not. I have maybe the worst diet right now.
Really?
Yeah, I've regressed back to like college eating almost. It's terrible. Oh. I'm having like ramen, mac and cheese a lot.
That's my guy.
Spaghetti.
Yeah.
Spaghetti's pretty good. Healthy. I get the heart healthy
You gotta
spaghetti
say it that
sauce.
way, though.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Yeah. No, I have the worst diet. But I take a daily multivitamin, so it all balances out, right?
That's like space age, right?
I hydrate.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's great.
Look, I'm doing all right.
So do you want to add anything to it?
Oh, yeah. Vegetables.
Vegetables. Yeah, that's my first thing. You gotta have vegetables.
I have a lot of tomato sauce.
Yeah.
I don't think that counts. It's fruit
tomatoes
anyway.
are fruit.
Yeah, okay. I eat some carrots time to time.
Oh,
Like
that's
a
good.
graze.
Good for your eyes, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently it gives you a glow, too, if you eat so many carrots. Your
Oh,
skin
really?
turns a little orangish, but in a good way.
I think you would have to eat a lot of
That's a lot of carrots, yeah.
in order
It's
for
a
that to
well-known
happen.
thing, though. Yeah, you would, but it's a well-known thing. Look it
Drop
up.
knowledge on this podcast.
Look it up.
You could
Keratin.
see it
Yeah.
in the dark.
I'm not glowing because I don't eat enough
Nice.
carrots. Next week, I'll eat only carrots, and I'll be glowing, so stay tuned.
You'll be as orange as the wall behind you.
You may have other issues.
Yeah.
So my question for you is, do you notice like how you feel? Because when I was in my 20s, every single day before work, I would stop at a gas station, get like a 32-ounce thing of Mountain Dew and a big bag of Chex Mix, and that was my breakfast.
Yeah.
And I felt great. No problem. Now, if I don't eat like vegetables and drink water, I am a slug by like 5 o'clock. Like I'm just physically feel like garbage.
Yeah, it's just catching up to me. Like I think like turning 27 is when that starts kidding you, or at least in my experience. Because I'll wake up and I'll be dead tired because I had eaten poorly the day before, and then I'll get like lunch and dinner in, and then by like 9 I'm like sluggish, but also can't sleep because I have so much sodium in my system probably or something. So yeah, I'm starting to feel it. It's not bad to the point where like I've obviously been forced to stop.
Yeah.
I
Still
definitely
do it,
should stop, but in this economy, I mean, what can you ask for? Come on.
Ramen.
Multivitamin's good.
Anybody else want to chime in there? Everybody else have healthy diets?
I definitely don't have the healthiest diet by any means. My diet has always been a weird thing for me. I don't know. I feel like I eat less than most people, but not in like a bad eating disorder way. Like I'm not trying to. It's literally just I feel like my stomach, I get full quickly, but I also eat more often throughout the day rather than just like 3 big meals, which is apparently better for you.
Right.
Apparently.
Depending on the meal, I think.
Allegedly, yeah. The
As long as you
diet
don't go
part
to
is
sleep
the
with
big question.
Full belly.
Yeah.
You gotta eat enough time to digest it
Right.
before you go to bed.
I definitely notice, like, I'll, like, wake up in the middle of the night not feeling well if I go to bed, like, having eaten too close to falling asleep and stuff like that. There's definitely an effect there. But specifically, I feel like I was drinking way too much Dr. Pepper. And I have cut back a lot on the Dr. Pepper,
Did you
which
say
is good.
statistically?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I don't. I did say
You
a word,
did
but
say-
I.
You said a lot of words, but that was
I don't remember what the
think
word
that was
was.
the
that was the one. No.
Like statistically, I've had a lot of Dr.
Also statistically, if somebody was keeping stats on the amount of Dr. Pepper I was drinking per day, that's scary.
You wouldn't want to see the stats?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
364 out of 365, she has a Dr. Pepper. At least
But
once.
not
She's
anymore.
consistent. Consistency, not
Right.
perfection.
Yeah.
Takes
Not
one
anymore.
day off
So
for some reason.
So you've changed that.
Yeah, I'm trying to anyways. hypothetically, I want to drink more water, but water is just
Hypothetically.
it's a hard thing to drink sometimes. Like it doesn't have any interest.
boring.
It's so boring. Exactly. Like no bubbles. I don't even. So I don't like sparkling water though. Like if
so that would
bubbles
be
were the
the-
only key, it would be great, but it's not. I hate the blandness of sparkling water. It feels like it's assaulting my tongue a little bit. But one of the big reasons why I do drink Dr. Pepper is because I love the feeling that the bubbles have on my throat. Like it's a little, it's a little tickle, you know.
Dr. Pepper.
There's no disconnect here at all. You like the bubbles of Dr. Pepper.
But
You
I
hate the
don't
bubbles of water.
But I like.
Bubbles
I
of
think I like the fake sugary flavorness of I don't like the just hard bubble.
What about
I
like
like
Mio?
the concealed bubble.
Could you put like Mio in there or something?
So everybody has said Mio to me.
Have you
Everybody
tried
said it.
I have.
Has anybody said to you
fine.
triple X water?
No.
Acai berry?
Oh, vitamin water, you mean?
Yeah. Triple
Yeah,
X vitamin
okay.
water. We have it on tap here at Hurrdat.
I was concerned.
Like,
Yeah,
what's this?
same here. Yeah.
We do have
Pouring
vitamin
water.
water on tap.
I drink it all the time.
I do like the acai blueberry one. They also
Acai,
have a
it's just fun
good.
to say.
True.
Acai berry.
People get confused about how to say acai. Acai.
Acai.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I've been saying it. So now I,
I think
feel
people
dumb.
who say acai are just kind of pretentious, and that's me saying that.
That's the way to
Says the
say
guy
it.
says the guy with an acai berry tap here at Hurrdat.
Yeah, no,
Right.
I fully acknowledge that I am in fact pretentious, but I will not judge someone for saying acai berry or whatever.
They have a good like lemon one too. That's a really light. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's not super lemonade-y, but it's enough to where it's
Vitamin
not
water.
Actually,
just
I mix
water,
those two
you
together
know?
because we have both of them on
Ooh.
tap, and I do hard on the acai berry, and then I splash the lemonade on the top.
This is crazy. You guys have
best
it.
drink
you
in the
guys
world.
We
have
have
it out
both on
here.
tap.
Yeah.
Oh, I just skip right to
I
the
like that you
pib
guys
every
are
time.
saying on tap as if it's not just some soda machine that you
Right.
guys have
Right.
in your break room. Like it's
All right.
like a tap system. With
No,
like,
it's a full-on
this
fountain
thing.
machine in the break room.
It's for yes.
on tap.
Tap.
What's the difference?
Oh, I get what you're saying.
There's no
Yeah.
lever.
A tap is like you're at a tap room, like a beer
She's a
or
mixologist.
cider.
She
I work
knows.
at a tap
Like-
room. Like
I understand that, but
you're saying these.
Well, yeah.
little
Since you left us, we've definitely gone downhill in our verbiage. So
I'm happy to, re-up that for you.
Update us
Yes,
on
Yeah,
that.
thank you.
anytime. But anyways, I feel like I'm getting better. I've started cooking a lot for myself more, even though it's really hard to cook for one person and not just have 10,000 leftovers. And it would be a good thing if I was a leftover person, but I'm not a leftover person. I really don't like eating leftovers. I don't know why. It's just it's never as good.
Can't you just cut the recipe?
Probably, yeah.
That's math.
you
And
sound
sometimes, yes.
you sound insane,
But
Dad.
then, like, sometimes,
Wacky me.
but then also, like, if it's like a meat, like
Only
like
use a
chicken,
quarter pound of hamburger. That's it.
right? And then you have to freeze the rest.
Yeah,
So
what do you do with the
I'm
rest of
gonna
the hamburger?
forget that I'm gonna forget that it's frozen in my freezer, and then every single time that I freeze meat, I'm always like, oh, I could use that. Let me remember to thaw that out for like I'll put it in the refrigerator for tomorrow, and then I never do that, and so it's just like every day I'm just in a cycle of not remembering to thaw out my meat and then not being able to use it. You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
It's a
I
problem.
do know.
I never
yes.
thought my meat.
Yes.
Looking for support
it
here.
is.
You guys get me?
Does anybody else?
Anyone.
Please.
Share in the comments if you forgot to thaw your meat.
I just,
All right, hold on.
really,
Let's pump the brakes on that one.
I just really,
It's a family show. It's a family show.
This is a family show. But I understand, like, when I was a kid and mom would be like, don't forget to take the chicken out of the freezer in the morning. And then, like, it would be like 5 minutes before she gets home and I forgot to take the chicken out of the freezer. And it's just like the worst thing in the world, you know?
Are you making that up?
I think it's a shared experience.
I think that's a social media. She never asked us to take the chicken out of the
No way mom didn't ask us to take the chicken out of the
Sherry,
freezer.
you want to chime in on that
She
one?
worked from home.
Did you ever?
She runs errands. She
Do you want to defend yourself?
volunteers.
Maybe I just couldn't be trusted with
Come
it.
here.
That could be it.
McCartney secrets revealed.
She was at your baseball games while I was
Those were
thawing the
post
chicken?
dinner.
She's laughing too much to even go.
Mom, come on, help me out here.
Yeah, no, I don't ever remember asking. I knew better.
I'm trying to speak for the greater good. You
And
know,
remind
I think
me-
it's the
Your generation or
masses. Yes,
something?
okay.
Remind
Mom.
me to tell you about the quick way to thaw chicken.
Are you gonna say the microwave? Because then it accidentally
No,
starts cooking some
not
of it.
microwave.
Okay.
Hot water.
Water?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a bowl.
Hot
and
water?
Just put plate
I've
on
heard
it.
you're
like-
supposed to use cold water,
Yeah,
Well,
but then it doesn't thaw very quickly.
Well, yeah, we kind of cheat on that.
do what
a
you
little
gotta
bit.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to
Anyway.
know.
So Hope was never asked to take the chicken out of the freezer.
Not that I remember.
Okay. Well,
All right.
I didn't feel like I was gonna be exposed in real time here, but here we are.
Maybe once, and then when she didn't, I stopped asking. I don't.
I'm gonna take that.
You
That
can.
happened.
You know what?
Agreement.
Conceded. Yeah.
There were a lot of days in the childhood. There was a lot of meals, a lot
There's
of
a lot of
home-cooked
days in
meals.
the childhood.
Who remembers all of them?
It was like
okay?
18 years worth of days. That's a long time.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
a lot of days.
A lot of days.
Anybody else want to chime in on their healthy or unhealthy eating habits?
I'll jump in.
Okay.
I don't eat very well. So, Hope, if you don't want to like freeze your meat again or whatever, feel free to bring some leftovers to my house.
Cool. Got you.
That's my whole
I'll
thing.
meal prep
I'm
for the
on
two
the
of
same
us.
tip as Grayson with ramen and just garbage food. That's what I eat all the time. I'll go to Taco Bell like 4 times a week.
See, you just don't have time to cook. That's where I'm finding myself.
I don't have the will to cook. I don't want it.
Okay.
I don't care.
Fair enough.
I want all the garbage food I could possibly handle. And then ramen when I do have time. When I have 5 minutes to spare, I'll do ramen.
When I have time to cook, I cook my ramen.
If there's a clean bowl somewhere, I'm definitely going to have ramen.
Do
like
you work on the weekends?
I do other stuff, like socialize.
He has a life, you know.
Weekends
sense-
are when
You're
I eat.
right.
I
I
do
sense
eat the
food
healthiest.
prep
His
was coming up.
discretionary time
I'm
is
just-
used in other ways.
Yeah,
I
do
also-
eat healthier on the weekends.
I
will point
agree
out.
that I had the mindset that I don't have the time to cook for myself, but I also, if you prepare yourself for it, it doesn't take that long to cook, truly.
Am I getting life lessons here? Okay.
I'm just trying to help.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Keep going.
I don't know, for both you and Cam. I don't know.
Yeah, also,
It's
I
just,
mean-
it like cut up your vegetables beforehand, so that way you don't have to spend time doing that, and so you just throw it into the pan, and it takes 5 minutes to saute, and there you go. You got sautéed vegetables.
Oh,
that
she's
takes
using
5
fancy words
minutes.
like saute now.
Yeah. Apparently.
That's oil. That's oil in a pan.
So fancy.
Well, 5 minutes. You can pick between sautéed vegetables or ramen.
Yeah. Ramen.
You're gonna
Just taste
feel
it.
Also-
that. I'm okay.
I would say you go to the Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill and just have them make the food for you, but that's just me.
It is delicious.
It's good.
They don't sponsor us. I mean,
They don't sponsor us. It's a free plug for
it's a
them.
shameless
Yeah.
plug. All
Yeah.
right. Brandy.
Actually, we're gonna go there after this.
There you go.
We're gonna have some pasta.
I love it.
There you go.
Do you like the
I
pasta?
love it.
I love the pasta.
Shrimp
You
skin.
still on? You want to chime in, or are we
Yeah,
good?
so I am eating healthier, not all the time, but
On
'cause
purpose?
yeah, because I
Ah,
just
gross.
like I know, like I said though, like I feel gross if I would love to eat, ramen
Taco Bell
and
4 times a
Taco
week,
Bell.
yeah.
I crunch wraps, man, those are I have happy memories about those.
Yeah.
But yeah, trying to do better, and my husband loves meat. I think he has every animal under the sun in our freezer, and he has his own slicer. And so,
nice.
You don't mean they're like dead animals, right? Yeah.
yes, correct.
Okay, good. 'Cause-
PETA, please don't.
yeah,
Where do you
authorities here.
think meat comes from, Dad?
Well, it's not like he has got-
The way she said keeping him in our freezer,
Right,
it's
like
like
the
scratching
cats
to
and
get
dogs.
There's
out.
not any FBI files
Yes.
going on in Gretna. Nope.
There's just a frozen cat in the freezer.
Well, that might
The
be
claw
happening.
marks right by the-
Rob and Brian feel similarly about cats, so that might.
Delicious.
Might happen.
Right?
With the right sauce.
Right.
I'm done now.
Okay. Are you going to answer?
I have a terrible diet, but my diet is basically my wife is doing a heck of a job trying to get me to eat healthy. Because when she cooks, and she cooks all the time, I do eat healthy. But unfortunately, I can only eat so many things. I have something called Crohn's disease, right? And so Crohn's, often the foods will trigger or I'm going to say clog up the whole body kind of thing. And so I've got to be very choosy about what I eat. And she's been really good about figuring out my hot spots, if you will. And because I am like you guys, I hate to cook. I like to clean. I have no problem. I actually, something about my personality. I like to clean the dishes and stuff, and we'll be in the kitchen. She'll clean, and I will or she'll be cooking and I'll be cleaning sometimes too quickly. She'll say, I'm not done with that pan yet. And I say, well, it's clean now. You can use it again.
Use it again.
But anyway, so I have a terrible diet, and I am living the cards I've been dealt. And it leads me into the next question.
Perfect.
It does. If you know there is a chronic disease in your family that has a genetic marker to it, would you want to get tested for it, even if there's a chance you'll never have that disease or illness? So your family, there's a genetic marker in your family that you might have this disease, or you at least have the gene for it, but you may never actually have a full-blown case. Would you want to get tested for it?
I mean, I want to say yes, but this is the case for our family, and I have not been tested for Crohn's.
Well,
this year's not so subtle hint.
I'm
like,
not,
hey,
no,
man.
no.
I know, this
It's
feels
not-
like a subtle hint.
It is not a subtle hint. It's just because it's
pretty blatant.
No, it's not. I mean, you can self-actualize that if you want, but it's like it's just more of a mental thing, right? It's like, do you want to know? If you could take and when Sherry and I were talking about these questions earlier, she helped me on these. She brought up the example of breast cancer. There are people who have like the HER2, the gene, and they will have a double mastectomy once they find out they have the gene for breast cancer, just because they're like, I do not want this.
Yep.
I'm just going to take it off the table right now, so they have the double mastectomy. It's a bold decision, and it works because you're not going to have breast cancer, right? So that's actually kind of where I'm going. So you could just say, I'm going to get tested, and then I'm going to worry about it and worry myself forever, or do I just not get tested and roll the dice and see if I get the illness?
So I would go yes, and my reason is so I've shared on the pod before. About a year and a half ago was diagnosed with vestibular migraines after an awful episode. I was on medical leave from work for 6 weeks. It was terrible. And looking back, for like 7 years, probably more than that, I have had symptoms and had no idea what was wrong with me. And I went to doctors, and I didn't know if I had something wrong with my my immune system or my sinuses. Or at one point I thought, okay, is it what's your
Thyroid?
thyroid? Didn't know if I had something wrong with that. Had all these tests. And now looking back, and maybe I'm just projecting it on there, had I known that, maybe there's better things I could have done. Changing diet, making sure I focused on sleep, stress levels, all those different things. And in hindsight, talking to my dad, he suffered this his entire life. But, my dad's a tough guy. He doesn't complain, so he's just dealt with it. Had I known that, maybe I would. I don't know. Knowledge is power, right? Maybe just being able to.
That's what Schoolhouse Rock says.
That's right. Thank you, Cam.
Live
It can also be crippling, though. But is it genetic, though?
I think migraines
there a
little
gene to
bit
it?
are. I think a little bit. Like it can be a hereditary thing. So Easton and Evans, sorry, boys, you're, in the line of fire on that one. But I think for me, part of my frustration over the years has just been asking what is wrong with me? What am I doing? So that aspect, maybe just knowing and then being able to self-advocate for doing more research and more lifestyle things. And I don't know. But for me, that's been such a frustrating component of it, is just questioning what is causing this? What am I doing? And maybe that would have been one more tool in the arsenal. I don't know. But migraines is certainly much more different than breast cancer and having your breasts removed or another very chronic, life-threatening condition. So I don't know. It's a hard,
I imagine that changes when you have kids too. Like as a parent, you should probably get
You
yourself
have
checked
something
out.
to live for outside of your actual life.
I was gonna put it that bluntly, but yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, like
You have cats.
You should check and see
I had cats.
if all your wiring's all right, so your kids will know what kind of chance they have or that kind of thing.
But at the same time, do I want to project that on my kids? Are you okay? Do you have a migraine? No. You know what I mean?
I didn't.
Now I'm worried about it. Could this be that? Oh my gosh.
That's the thing. You speak it into existence.
Yeah,
You
for sure.
Hope.
Yes, even though I am like Grayson, I know that we could definitely have, a marker for Crohn's or something like that. And I myself have not gotten tested. I do feel like I should, because there have been things that happen sometimes where I'm like, I wonder if that's that, you know, like if that's starting to
Sure.
manifest, because I don't know how personal you want to get, but I think you got diagnosed around my age-ish. So it's
before,
like
yeah.
a little before. So it's like if it would be kicking in, it could be happening now. But I also think, I don't know, I am the kind of person who freaks myself out a lot and believe in placebo effects and stuff. If like I will
Absolutely.
freak myself into thinking that something's happening.
Sure.
And like, for instance, this isn't the same thing, but like I have a peanut allergy, right? And like a very severe one. So it used to be a lot worse when I was a kid. Like it would be like airborne. I could go into, you know, shock or whatever, anaphylactic shock. But now it's more so if I just like digest it. But there will be times when I'll have something that I don't think has peanuts in it, but it has the slight taste, or like I know there could have been cross contamination or something like that.
It's a bit nutty.
It's a little weird. Yeah, something's feeling a little strange. It's a bit nutty. And I don't know. I don't obviously like go into anaphylactic shock, but like my mouth starts feeling really itchy, and it's like, is this actually happening, or is it just my brain like freaking myself out in my anxiety and stuff like that? So I get nervous. I think that's why I like haven't gotten tested, is because like I don't know. There's a part of me that's like, ignorance is bliss. I guess you could say. And that's not, I don't think, the correct way to go about things by any means. I think, especially if we're talking about trying to be healthier with diets and things, I think I need to know what that means for me personally, because everybody's diets are different. It's not like everybody's body needs the same things. And I don't necessarily know what mine needs and doesn't need. And I should probably figure it out, but I'm scared. So I'm like,
That's a real thing.
Don't want to know the truth. You're like, just not going to be truthful.
right.
I saw Rob was looking at Sherry a second ago, like, did you really have a peanut allergy, or is your mom going to come in here like, no, she's
my
not
whole
allergic
life.
to peanuts at all?
What do you say,
That would be
Dan?
crazy.
What do I say?
You tested?
So yeah, with the thyroid, heart disease, and diabetes in my family, I'm at the point in my life where I should check that out, but I am not doing it.
Nice.
I'll take what's coming. I'll take what's coming to me. You know, I'm gonna go out in a fucking bang. that's my jam.
Give it all to me.
Yeah,
Crunch wraps for everyone.
Yeah. And yeah, Taco Bell 8 times a week is not gonna help me out at all.
You just kind of want to worry about it when you have to.
Yeah. Well, I just need a primary care physician first, and then we'll figure that out. But
Right.
Yeah, get that locked down.
don't have that yet. It's got random urgent care doctors.
Yeah, check out Midwest Urgent Care, by the way.
Oh,
Midwest
thanks.
Family Urgent Care.
Oh.
Midlands Family
Are
Urgent
you
Care.
sure? What's it
What?
called?
Midlands
they're-
Family Urgent Care. Final answer.
Probably all of
They're
those.
definitely not a client I work with a
They
lot.
definitely
so
do
don't
not
check
sponsor
that.
this podcast.
Well, okay, why is Mom brought in here? What are we doing here?
I'm not sure. He
Okay.
handed me the things, but I thankfully don't have a Crohn's history that I need to worry about. But
Get it from you?
it's not contagious that I'm aware of. But this last time that I went and had a mammogram, you have to give your history and whether you have any family that's got this. And my mom had ovarian cancer. It was after she was 70, so it's not like high risk or anything like that. But they gave me a pamphlet about genetic testing. And it was really the very first time I'd ever really thought about it for me. I've thought about it for my kids. We actually had a discussion about it because when Rob was diagnosed, they didn't know that Crohn's was genetic, that there was a genetic marker. They didn't discover that until 2020. I mean, no, it's a fairly recent thing.
I didn't know that either.
Actually, maybe before 2020, but it's fairly recent. And so at the time, we was like, well, do we have the kids tested? And it's just like,
No was the answer.
Apparently not.
and at that point,
No was the answer.
yeah, at that point, it was just like, okay, we had the same discussion. Would it freak them out if they did? Because we don't know enough yet about just because you have the marker, does that mean you're actually going to get the disease? or does everybody who get the disease have the marker? It's just like we just don't know enough. And so if it came back that they had the marker, would they just always be waiting for that other shoe to drop when it maybe never will? And so is it any different than how they live now?
Yeah, I would say it's probably the same now.
Right. We already know that it
We
could,
know it's a possibility.
Yeah. So, so at the time, that was the decision we made, and plus they were at the point where pretty soon they were going to be old enough to make that their own decision. And with me, I don't know yet. I'm thinking about it, but I don't know if I'm going to get tested or not.
Yeah.
So
That's fair. There you go. Covered the bases, I think.
I would say do it, get tested, but also I just want to live in ignorance.
Ignorance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of heads in sand around here.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't put it like that.
I would.
Happy heads. Happy.
Yeah, we're
happy.
smiling.
There you go. Okay. So that's physical health. We want to go to mental health a little bit here.
Oh shit.
Yeah, all right, because this is now we'll get into the real stuff. What do you see as the biggest mental health issue facing your generation, your age group? It's probably, and I'm going to take a stab, it's probably anxiety. Tends to be for every age group. If you're going to go with that as your answer, I'm asking you then to define what kind of anxiety you have, or you think your compatriots and your fellow, whatever, millennials or boomers or...
What do you mean? What kind of anxiety?
could be physical, could be whatever. It could be I'm anxious about zebras. I'm anxious about whatever. It could be you.
Amen.
What makes you anxious? I guess. Yeah.
I
So,
get totally freaked out.
I'll
about zebras,
start, and maybe this will prompt.
Yeah.
So,
I guess you're not
just in the
starting.
last 2 weeks or so, I've had more migraines than I had probably the last 3 months. And so I thought I was on this great trajectory, and then all of a sudden it's like bam, bam, bam. So emailed my doctor, and I'm like, any idea? And obviously Nebraska Falls, the barometric pressure is like, wee, wee, wee. That's, you like that sound
Yeah.
effect?
Wow.
It was good.
Wee you.
You
That's
can
the
actually hear it
barometric
if you
pressure.
listen closely enough. Lots of storms, everything. But I also realized that sleep is directly associated with when my episodes seem to spike. So this week, I really made a concerted effort on my sleep hygiene. It's like a cool catchphrase. And putting my phone down by 8 o'clock at night, not looking at social media, not looking at what are the people saying and blah, 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 blah. And even in that short time span, my sleep has drastically improved. So for me, at least, going through Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and Twitter and what are the people saying and what are they doing and how are they living their lives and should I be living my lives like that and what do they think about me and all those thoughts when I already have anxiety and worries about what people think of me and what I should be doing and blah, blah, blah. It's like this tornado of thoughts and uncontrollable crazy going on inside my brain. And that not only impacts me mentally, but then impacts my physical health on top of that. And I didn't grow up with Facebook and Instagram and all that because I'm old. So I can't imagine.
Careful.
I know. Well, we're the same age, Rob. We are the same. We are the same.
Then how come I spoke at your high school honor society?
Because you graduated. You
some
brought
deep
this
lore.
up.
I didn't hear about
Well, we can go into that if you like. But I can't imagine being a kid today, growing up with all of that where you're kind of expected to be part of that world. Why don't you have an Instagram? Why aren't you on TikTok? Why don't you do this? But if you are, then it's a constant show and tell to the world and the universe and how you're presenting yourself and what show you're putting out there. And I can't imagine that. I struggle with it as a 43-year-old woman. I can't imagine growing up in that environment as your brain and your inner being are developing and progressing, how you do all of that simultaneously in a healthy way. So
I can speak to that a little bit because I agree. I think that obviously, I think it's well documented that one of the bigger mental health triggers of our generation is social media and like competition and stuff like that. But it has caused our society, younger people, to become more self-centered or self-reliant, whichever way you want to look at it. But it's, you can see it in like our media and art and stuff like that. Everything is about me. As you go back to the 60s, 70s, it's like love, this stuff. 80s is like, 90s is like against the
I'm wearing a New
against
Kids on the
the,
Block shirt, by the way.
it's like against the establishment kind of
reference.
stuff, and now it's just like so
The me generation.
self-obsessed.
70s was the me generation, by the way. Was the me decade.
That's what they call
the new
it.
me generation.
That
Yeah,
could be.
this is like a very self-centered.
No, I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm just
Because
looking-
I think that's how you cope with, this constant competition being thrown in your face.
Yeah.
It's like, I just need to take care of me, and maybe they have it good, but I'm the best, and then you kind of work your way. And that's why kids kind of suck nowadays. Sorry, people. They're kind of arrogant. I don't know if you've noticed this. Maybe we were all arrogant kids, but they seem very determined that they're right.
Sherry, do you have anything to say on that?
Please no. I'm using my veto buzzer.
She's nodding. She just said, take the chicken out of the freezer.
Every morning.
Yeah.
I don't know, kind of bouncing off of the social media, I don't know, just how it's bad for the mental health and everything. That whole, what Grayson was speaking on is extremely true. And then also just the fact, like, when you're scrolling, if you think about it, like on TikTok or really any social media site, you don't have control all the time of what the next thing you're going to see is, right? So sometimes you're watching a very happy video that you're laughing so hard at, and then you scroll, and then it's this bombing or this terrible, like, the emotional roller coaster that social media now takes you on is insane. Like, and you, I think most people, I struggle just saying my generation as somebody in Gen Z, because I think it's most millennials and boomers even now who are, participating in social media as heavily as they are, become almost desensitized to a lot of these things that were being shown. And that is scary because these are very dramatic, emotional, heavy things sometimes, or also sometimes they're not. And they're just meant to make you feel light and happy and funny. But neither of those feelings can hit as hard anymore when you're just doom scrolling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So is that the biggest challenge facing your mental health challenge facing your generation, you think?
No, I was struggling trying to come up with like a one-worded answer, I suppose. Like, I think it's a combination of lots of things, but I mean, there's like depression, anxiety, all of these things, and they're stemming from all these different things that have happened in in Gen Z's, lifetime. I mean, you think about it, like, our lifetime has consisted of, as most people's lifetimes, I'm sure, have consisted of hardships and stuff, but like, the world has changed a lot, and I'm going to be talking mostly about like U.S. kind of culture and history that's kind of happened, because that's what I'm, of course, mostly divulged in. But I mean, a lot of people's, like, we went through the 2008 recession, right, when we were just kids, and people were before then able to buy houses at like a much cheaper price. The depression hit, then we felt that, our parents felt that, so we as children felt that. Then all of these other things start happening with politics, the economy, the pandemic, all sorts of things happening. And now we're coming into an age where we're adults and or young adults who are starting to be able to, or supposed to be able to, buy these houses, get these jobs, all of these things. But the economy has not grown at the same rate that we have. And so we're facing all of these societal, I don't know, like timeline.
Yeah, the norms.
That we're supposed to be hitting, but like we can't a lot of the times, or if you are, you're extremely lucky and privileged to be able to. I don't know. It's just, there's a whole combination of things with, and I'm sure every single generation, it has all sorts of different traumas. Exactly. Yeah.
And
but
I
it just feels
remember
like a lot.
To that point, I actually asked Rob, I don't know if it was in season 3, season 4. I feel like this time is like the worst that we have had in decades. And Rob literally said, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Vietnam,
Right.
Nixon,
Right.
like civil riots, like
World War II.
World War II.
it's pre-me, but yeah.
Yes. So to echo what you're saying, I feel like we go through hills and valleys, and this is definitely one of those times in history.
I would like to also argue, though, that in those times, and this might be a very controversial argument, I suppose. I don't really mean to be getting into this if it's bad, but in those times, we didn't have social media. Yeah, we had newspapers, and, some of the wars, it was in time where we had television coverage and stuff like that, but we didn't have the same access to things that we do now. I would like to believe, this isn't like a good thing by any means, but I do believe that if we didn't have the same access to social media and to speaking our voice as easily as we do now as individuals, there probably would have been a civil war, honestly, within the last decade with all of the...
It's tricky.
All of
you could say
the...
people are radicalized by their echo chambers, too.
True, yeah.
Which could have made them more likely to create conflict because they're just hearing their own opinion on social media. And so when they're confronted with another one, they can't really accept it. Whereas back in the day, we had newspapers that were like one central source of information. I don't know the answer. I'm just kind of...
Right. I just more so mean like, I don't know. It feels like there is an outlet now for people to speak. Whereas beforehand, it was less likely for an individual to get their voice heard, whereas now it's like anybody could go viral on TikTok nowadays talking about whatever, and so it's like the need to come together as a community and create civil unrest or whatever it is that we feel is going to progress whatever we're trying to, push. I don't know if it's a much more individualistic mindset nowadays. I don't know where I'm going with this. Do you guys see what I'm saying?
It sounds like almost, and there've been studies on this. We have been never before have we been so connected, and yet never before have we been so disconnected from each other because people are sitting because they can be connected by themselves. If that sounds silly,
they can be connected by themselves behind a.
It's not only that, but you can sit. You sit, and you don't have to. It's not only just the echo chamber of getting your own thoughts back thrown at you or believing you're just going to seek out, similar thoughts because people have done that. It's easier now, no question. But I can sit there and I can watch all the movies I want to without going to a theater, and listening to the person cough or whatever, and then having to deal with the social construct of I have to get along with this person because I'm sitting next to him. I consider everything to be perfect. I can have create my own little world. So yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. It's actually, I have another question along these lines. If it's okay with you guys, Cam, did you want to jump in on this?
No, you're good.
Okay.
I forgot what the question was, and I haven't yet this season asked a repeat a question.
It was basically, what's the worst thing with your generation? This is a big problem. Mental health challenge. So yes, so you didn't have to ask that. We are living in divisive times. I mean, you talk about doom scrolling and whatnot. Now you are God, or if you'd prefer, king or queen of the world.
I like that a lot.
What would you do? What would you do to make society healthier? This is the health aspect of it. To make society healthier. Or is it inevitable that we will always be contentious because of human nature?
My 2 cents. I feel like I've answered the first question every time, so my apologies. I'm like flying in the face of what I'm about to say.
No, do it.
You have to listen before you can make a decision. Information over affirmation of your own beliefs. You don't have to agree with that person. You may leave after those 5 minutes thinking you are an idiot. You have no backing of anything you're saying. I completely disagree with you. But you are forced to truly listen and keep an open mind to what the other person is saying before you snap to judgment or force your own opinion. You just have to listen. Just listen. Just listen.
Okay.
Everyone on the planet once a year has to do something in a group that they're absolutely terrible at. That's my answer.
Okay. Can you give me an example?
So, like, I have to ice skate once a year with people. I hate that experience, and it's the most humbling thing I've ever experienced. And I think that would knock me down a few pegs if I did that more consistently. I might be more open to, these really good ice skaters are very impressive. Good for them. I can do tennis or something, training for tennis. But, yeah, I think people need to be humbled, but not in, like, a horrible way, in something where they realize that they're not the best, or they're not, there are other people who have skills, expertise that they will never have, and that's fine because you can lean on them for their skills and expertise as they should lean on you.
Yeah, you push yourself a little bit.
Like, let's have an ice skater come in and do a marketing job for once.
Brian Boitano comes in and he starts selling marketing.
Yeah.
Do this, Grayson. I'm Brian Boitano.
I have a feeling it might be easier for them to market than for me to ice skate, but I don't.
Could also always find somebody who's like not good at ice skating with you, you know?
That's the
and
point,
then it's
yeah.
like so fun, you know, just failing together. And then you found a new friend doing that.
Yeah. And then you also are around people who are better than you. That's the other part of it.
Can I nominate Rob for breakdancing? You may be great at it.
I'm
but
amazing
I
at
just wanna see this.
breakdancing.
I just
Heck
wanna
yeah.
Every
see it.
time I dance, I break something. That's a dad joke.
Raygun's having an open challenge competition. I don't know if you
Raygun's
saw
done.
that.
She retired.
She quit?
Yeah, she's
Oh, I just saw
retired.
her. She challenged people like
She
two
hit,
Maybe
the,
it's
she
after
hit the
this
pinnacle
challenge.
at the Olympics. It's like, nope, I'm done now.
Who are they talking?
She was
Ronald
Australian
Reagan.
Reagan.
Right, that's
Raygun.
Same.
Do you
No,
remember?
Rachel Gunn, Ray Gunn from the Olympics, who had a horrible break.
Reagan was.
Oh,
our
from
president.
Australia?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Raygun.
Did you see the football?
You
the guy who
even
just got the
know?
the guy who got the touchdown.
Did it perfectly.
That was Raygun, yeah.
I did see that.
I didn't know that was her name.
Right.
Did you, oh, it's amazing.
It was a trivia question I had this week. I didn't know it until that.
We have this joke
And then
at
you end up
bowling.
like this. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a
Did
joke.
Kira tell you about that? Now you know who Reagan is?
No.
She. Okay.
Do you know about
Good plug, though.
Ray Gunn?
Ray Gunn. Do you know who Ray Gunn is?
Breakdancer?
The Australian breakdancer from the Olympics.
Oh, see,
No.
okay.
No, that's
No.
me.
Sigma.
It's a niche
Sigma,
thing.
Kira.
Yeah.
Sigma.
I'm super hip because
You
I
are
know.
so gross, Sigma.
Don't just say
no,
hip words.
you're not allowed.
Did I do it wrong?
No, I.
Yes.
Hey, if she's. Can I say it now?
No. That's the point. We want to discourage this behavior.
Getting back to the question, Grayson, you actually touched on something that would have been my answer. My answer is when you said you had to hang out and do something with people that you're not good at. Mine would be you'd have to volunteer. Like, I mean, it would be mandatory volunteerism, which is obviously.
Yeah, how's that work?
Yeah.
I love that.
It's because of what it does. It's the same thing. It puts you in situations you're not comfortable with, may not be comfortable with, or just haven't been exposed to. And then all of a sudden, it's the walk a mile in my shoes, or then you can see how they've gone. And so I think if people can see what their fellow brethren and sisters are doing, they could figure out, hey, maybe we could be a little more humble in how we approach life. But
And you feel great when you help someone else and you see that impact.
that is the thing.
Psychological egoism.
Yes.
Thanks, Elliot.
Thanks, Elliot. Yeah, but I mean, but even if it is that, even if you recognize that, man, you feel good about doing it. And it's like, wow, it's from Scrooge, the movie Scrooge with Bill Murray. I want this feeling every day of the year. Towards the end, it's amazing. What would you do to save society?
I'm having a hard time giving like specific examples like you guys, but more so just like instilling the concept that humanity is more important than money or capitalism. I really hate that so many, at least in America, maybe it seems like other countries have figured this out, how life and experience is more important than making money. But it feels like so many dreams and aspirations that people have are squashed by, but I need to pay bills, I need to pay taxes, I need to do this and this and this and this, and it just feels like people make decisions like political ones, for instance, based off of capitalistic or, monetary value, which fair, that is, it is a very important thing to think about in your everyday life and society and stuff. But sometimes that also means that you're, making decisions against other things that are important to people's livelihoods outside of something like money. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to speak very vaguely here without speaking vaguely.
But I think that you're speaking to what a lot of people are expressing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish that people's lives and their abilities to, I don't know, be themselves and all of that mattered more than money. Yep. But it doesn't seem like that's the case in American society. So that's what I would personally
to take all the money
on.
away.
That's why I said I don't have like a specific
right.
I like the concept is what I would like to instill. I don't necessarily. I get that I don't have like specific, and that's impossible. Probably I get that's impossible, but like I would like to believe in a perfect world that's.
You could implement mandatory vacations.
I don't think that would make people respect people's rights and
Oh,
individuality
no, but it'd be a step.
instead of money.
It'd be a step away from money. You pay for the vacation. You go, hey, 3 weeks. You go off to
Does that
Bora Bora.
fix their poverty in everyday life, though?
What if you did
No,
something
see,
like
that's why we're money driven. But
everybody made the same amount of money?
political.
Everybody had no one, and there was everybody got the same raise, or goods never increased. I mean, the value. So it's just like everybody. It would always be
Right.
and there'd be no investment. I mean, it'd just be like everybody. You'd have this much money. I mean, that might be.
I don't hate something like that personally. There's gonna be people who are like, on an idea like that, which
You start barking.
Yeah, probably. Probably. That's what they sound like to me. But in a world like that, I don't know. I think you would have a lot more time and ability to explore what is important to you outside of
Gotcha.
making money. Like, I don't know, whether that be creating or traveling or talking to other people and just spending time doing that rather than working or, stuff like that. You just have more mental space.
Cam, you're king of the world.
Yeah, that's
All
true.
hell King Cam.
Moving on.
And
Yes, I was just letting you know. Yeah.
no, yeah. So I'm king of the world.
We established that.
I would do a mandatory every so often years. You got to go to traffic school, but only to learn the nuances of how to drive like a proper person.
Just because Grayson was behind
so
you.
much.
Yeah, it's spawned by Grayson on his way here. There was somebody who was slow in front of him, so he's like 20 minutes late.
I'm not 20 minutes late.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
Yeah.
3.
I had a
and I wasn't even
timer.
the latest.
I had a timer.
I had a timer.
I had to be, like I was telling you, I had to be the butt of a prank or something. Like,
Yeah.
it was so bad.
It was the worst driving you've ever experienced.
Yeah, I was down Q Street. These guys were going 20 miles under the speed limit, side by side, the whole way. And they
They're
pull
just
up to
blocking the
yellows,
road,
and they
yeah.
pull up to yellows, and they can go the same speed and get through the yellow easily, and they would stop there. I almost drove my car into the police station.
Next week on
Right on Q
ABC's,
Street.
what would you do?
For the record, your mom and I were having a conversation between our two cars, and we could only drive so fast.
That checks out. Maybe, yeah. Oh, never mind.
Cam, I love this idea.
Definitely like the, my main point of it would be like, on the interstate, left lane is fast lane, right lane is slow lane. Know that. Get the hell out of the way if you're going to go slower.
Wait, the right lane's the fast lane?
Left lane.
Left lane.
Right
okay.
shoulder.
Right. Don't make me pass you on the shoulder. Because I will do that.
This is society's ills.
But I think those things, if people know how to actually properly drive in certain situations, would be very helpful to the health mentally of the entire world. That's what I'm saying.
True. There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
All hail King Cam.
King Cam.
Wasn't he in like Mike Tyson's King? Oh, that was King Kong. Whatever. Anyway.
Hippo. Oh my god.
Yeah, King Hippo. Yeah.
In Mike Tyson's Punch Out,
Yeah.
he punched him in the belly and he went down. That was the only way to beat him.
Ooh, he falls backwards. Yeah.
I bow to your knowledge. Yes.
Born yet.
Also, I know we're recording this on Friday, the night of the Mike Tyson fight, but I cannot wait to see Mike Tyson just pummel that dude.
I've seen so
Jake
many
Paul.
That's
memes
tonight?
of that guy
That's
today.
happening now.
Okay.
Of
It's
him,
probably
like,
over by now.
doing like
He just got
dancing.
smoked.
You think so?
I'm sure. I'm
And he
so
doesn't
sure.
have both ears anymore.
Right.
That's all I
Did you know?
Wow.
Also, Mike Tyson has a line of CBD gummies that are shaped like ears.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
That's
that's a
fantastic.
fun
That's
fact
so
to
funny.
tell all your friends, and that's what I'm here for.
Cam, you want
And
me
you're
to
just supposed to
spoil
bite
it?
off the back of the side of it? Yeah, okay.
You gotta open it with your mouth for sure.
Okay.
Hey, on that note,
Actually, Hope, you kind of touched on a little bit this next question. And don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, but looking at financial health, we talked about the money. How would you define having made it financially? How would you define having made it? I've
Being
made it.
able to retire comfortably
And so that is defined how?
by a dollar amount that keeps going up every year.
So what does your retirement then look like? So
Like
do whatever you want
a
to
nice age, like 65, 75, hopefully.
75.
Look, it's getting tough out there.
It's yeah.
Are you going to be a golf
Oh my
ranger
God.
like my husband? Just yelling at people, move it along.
I'd hope so. But yeah, and then being able to have not like a luxurious life. I don't need that. Like being able to travel like once a year would be cool. You know, being able to pay off any last standing, you know, house payments or car payments, whatever I have there. And then, you know, ideally if I have, you know, next of kin, you could pass some along, but that's not something that seems achievable at the moment. Granted, I'm young, so we'll see what happens.
You
But
got time.
yeah. Eating non-ramen at 65, 75 would probably be a good goal to say I've made it financially.
Unless you really like ramen, you can have that for the rest of your life.
I'm sure there's a way to make it healthy. I just don't.
Also, yes,
Add
ramen
some peas and
can't-
carrots.
Go to a place that sells ramen that isn't the 99-cent ramen pack at
Brady
Walmart.
like a ramen
Why did you pay 99 cents for a pack of ramen?
Yeah, that's just, you're getting robbed.
64 cents max.
Okay, wow.
$4 for $1 at Baker's.
For
There
a
is
dollar.
good
Yeah.
ramen out there.
I know. I've been to a good ramen place.
We were going down this track. And we just exited off that
Hey,
track.
I thought I made a good point.
Come to a fork,
You made a very
take
good
it.
point. I was just wondering how the ramen to
Sorry.
64-cent thing
When
came
you
in.
come to
All
a
right.
fork, take it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Bear.
I remember when I first got not just an intern at KETV, but was officially hired. It was my first big girl job. And I had an opportunity to fill in for the morning anchor position when she was on maternity leave for an extended period of time and got a little bump. And that bump seemed like astronomical to me. And I remember one of our managing editors, Joe Casimir, told me at the time, because I was so excited, like my mind was gone. He's like, it will never be enough. You will always want more. Like even that number that seems like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm making this much money. You will always want more. And I've always thought of that, like no matter what we have, to Hope's point, like what really matters in life? Like when you are dying, are you going to be like, man, I'm so glad I hit that salary point at this X number, you know? And here I am preaching all of this, and at the same time, I make a very good living. And at the same time, I'm constantly like, how can I make money off my blog? Should I get speaking engagements or MC things so I can make more money? How can I, why? Why do we think about that? Because we always want more, right? And I don't know if that's like an American thing or just like a cultural thing or what.
So how would you know when you've made it financially?
That I just feel content and peaceful with life. And I don't know what that dollar figure. I mean, I'm pretty high maintenance.
I'm glad you said it.
I got my husband will be the first to tell you. I like having my eyebrows nice. I like having my fingernails nice. No, yep. I went there. So
Nail clippers are cheap, man.
I am
they're like
high
a
maintenance
pack of ramen.
and hoity-toity.
Let's not get carried away.
Yep.
Probably get a bottle of nail polish for like $2, something like that.
$2? That's like 64 cents.
Dollar store.
But I went when I was going back and listened to season 6, episode 2. If you haven't already, Da Boys, part 2.
Rewind.
Did I get it right? Rewind.
You
Yes.
got it. Spirit.
When Hope said you have unlimited amounts of what would you want? And you said plane tickets and concert tickets, experiences, right?
Yeah.
Like memories. What is the dollar figure for that? No idea, but that's what I want. Happiness and contentment. And I have no idea what that dollar figure is.
Gotcha.
But
Hope, how about you? How would you know when you've made it financially?
I feel like a combination of Grayson and Brandy's answers. I don't know. I don't want to be worrying about and granted, I'm not there right now. Like I feel like I am at a good place for, especially my age, which is nice. But like, I'm not necessarily like checking my bank account to make sure I have enough money for a bill that's going to get pulled. You know, like I'm past that, which is nice. But I definitely am not like, I have not made it by literally any. I cannot buy a house. I can't even buy a new car right now if I wanted to. But I think if I were to get to a point where I don't want to ever really be making millions of dollars or like enough money to where it's like, oh yeah, I could just go buy a house and
Said
it's
no
willy-nilly,
one
you know.
By the way. Millions of dollars, that's not my thing.
Like if it happened, cool, but I it's not like I don't ever
I guess I'll
envision
take
myself like in my career trying to find myself in a lucrative enough position to wanting to be making that much money. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Comes with a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure, and I don't think I'm about it. I think I'm about more of like the experiences and stuff like that. And
Do you think it would
stuff that's not
change you?
work. Probably. I think money changes a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it would change you. I feel like you would like invest in artists co-ops and
probably
potential music writers, and you would be like the best person ever to win the lottery because you would
It
just
would-
like
no.
infuse.
No, it would change her.
She'd buy you more ramen.
She'd buy me ramen and then drop it on my feet and be like, have that, peasant.
A lifetime supply of ramen.
Absolutely not.
She'd be like,
Thank you,
go get my
Randy.
chicken out of the freezer.
She could pay you to get the
You
chicken. out of
pleb.
the freezer,
Yeah,
She'll
here's
hire
$1.
you.
I'll be so rich I don't even need to freeze my chicken.
You'll just go outside chilling or what?
Can I get that T-shirt? I'm so rich I don't need to freeze my chicken. I want that T-shirt.
Definitely.
I don't want to be that rich. I want to freeze my chicken.
I will take whatever you need to feel that free. Once you make $1 million, I'll take the rest off your hands. Just so you can keep freezing chickens.
Awesome.
Some morning she'll wait. I didn't have to freeze my chicken today. I've made too much money.
That's when you know you made it.
She
You
repents.
don't have to freeze your chicken.
Cam, what about you? Wait, I'm with Cam. Are you gonna?
I think I've made it. Currently,
I love
this
that.
is the most money I've ever made in my life at a single time. The highest pay I've ever had.
Right.
Obviously, I'll take more. You guys listen? I'll take some more. But I think I have made it. I do still have those worries of like, oh shit, can that clear? You know, do I have to go check my bank account? Do I do this? But I'm also still doing side gigs. I'm doing trivia. You know, like I'm still doing things to increase that. But I think this is my time. Like right now, I'm living my best life.
I love that.
Not healthy, but I'm living my best life.
There's the.
It may be a short one.
Yeah, it's coming down pretty quick.
Rob, I know you're the host, but I would love to hear your answer.
Yeah,
to
the
this,
host
'cause
usually
you're-
answers the question.
I would argue,
I think they're forced to.
right? I would argue you are the most well-known, respected journalist in Nebraska. Just gonna throw that out there.
I give her $5 every time she says that. So, yeah.
Yeah, right?
So,
I'm getting tired of hearing it.
like,
She's
have you
$1,500.
reached a point where you're like, I'm good, y'all?
No.
Or
No,
okay.
no, I'm not. I don't know if I've ever been. But I'm good, y'all. Bounce. Yeah, no, I don't. No,
You lived in the South. You don't say y'all.
I do say y'all
Okay,
all the
there we
time.
go.
I think I wrote it down here. Wonder if I had my notes during this thing. I said, y'all were talking about spending. So, anywho,
Right? Oh, never mind.
No, no.
Make a Louisiana joke.
yeah.
And I will
Sometimes
note
too easy, yeah.
that every time we talked about your success at work, Kathy Beeler was always the first to say, Sherry is by far the most successful person in that family. So,
Excuse me.
sorry. That was,
Sherry.
I mean,
Yeah, Taylor, our
got the
oldest
bar,
daughter.
got
Yeah,
the bar set.
Actually, Taylor
got the
might
bar
be.
set.
She's not here. That's
So-
why.
She's so successful, she's not here.
As a family,
She's throwing
you
her
guys
chicken.
have killed it, y'all. But still not.
True. It's we're doing okay, but the thing to me is like, in the spirit of the question was like, what would you want where you don't have to worry anymore about checking the bank
Yeah.
account,
Right.
checking if a bill's going to pass or not, go through. It's like. When do you is that when you know, okay, I've made it, when I don't have to worry about that anymore, or have I made it when I'm like, oh, I can travel whenever I want, or I can eat out every night, not at Taco Bell. I can wherever I can have that freedom. Is that freedom is that where you get that sense of having made it? And that's where I'm leaning towards. It's like I want to be able to say, I've made it. When I can say, all right, I can do pretty much what I want to do. Now, does it mean buy a yacht? No. Does it mean travel all the time? No. Just if I want to go somewhere, do a day trip, whatever, I can just do a day trip, whatever. If my kids need help, can I just say, yeah, sure, I'm here to help. Whatever, can I buy something for you exorbitant? No, but I can help. And whenever
Get your
that
ramen,
needs.
Grayson.
Yeah, I'll buy you ramen. I'll even get you the 99-cent ramen.
Look,
That's
my
why.
palate can't even handle 99 cents.
I'm just telling you.
Cheap
it's
stuff's better.
Not all heroes wear capes. So,
But you do, so that's weird.
So I know, just around the house. Yeah, it was a Phantom of the Opera phase, okay? You know,
He's got his house cape. That's weird.
it's a smoking jacket. Just let that visual sink in.
No.
But that's where I would think when I have made it. And I think that's kind of what you guys were saying. It's a sense of security, knowing that I'm doing okay and I can do what I want now. And for me, it's important to be able to be a safety net and a security blanket for my family, right? Because I think that's my folks were there for me when I needed it. And so then it's like I want to be there for them, and hopefully they'll be there for their kids or whatever. So moving on, that's exactly where I think I will have made it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm Scottish, for Pete's sake. I'm always going to be worried about the money. So, okay, so last question. Either or. You can have either sound mental health or sound physical health. Which do you choose?
And welcome to Side B. Thanks, Brandy, for the dog introduction.
You're not using that.
I am using that.
You used it.
You already said it.
Yeah, today was all about health, and we talked about a lot of things health-wise. And I wrote down a few things in my notes. The first one, I can't remember exactly what it was about. I just wrote down cat sauce.
Oh my god.
Cats are delicious with the specific sauce.
With the right
With the
sauce.
secret sauce. So what other animals would be delicious with whatever sauce?
This seems dangerous.
Name a
my
sauce, name an
gosh.
animal. Let's go, let's eat.
Like conventional or
I'm going bats
non-conventional?
and peppercorn ranch.
Wow.
Yum.
Like from
Chicken
far
in the
away?
cave.
Wow.
They'd be kind of, nice.
Chicken of the
Anchor.
cave.
Chicken of the cave.
And you don't have to freeze it, Hope.
Yeah.
So my
Never
mom,
frozen.
my mom recently
Always fresh, never frozen.
deep fat fried some frog legs.
Oh, okay. I've never had that.
Yeah, me neither.
The frogs were not happy.
Apparently not. Halleck Park. Sorry about that. Just kidding. I don't know if they actually came from Halleck Park. Don't come after my parents.
Disclaimer duly noted.
But she said they were great.
Okay.
So I don't want to try that, but if I did, I'd
Frog
have to dip
legs?
them in some sauce.
They're
Yeah.
good.
What kind of
The
sauce?
sauce, yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Chick-fil-A sauce. Everything is better with Chick-fil-A sauce.
I'll get you there. That sounds right.
I think it's
All right.
overrated.
No?
think
Chick-fil-A
so?
sauce. I'm not going to fight right now.
It doesn't get a lot of credit, though.
If you dip the fries
What do
in
you mean it doesn't get a lot of credit?
Like, nobody ever talks about it.
Everybody talks about it.
talks about
What are you
Chick-fil-A
talking
sauce.
about?
I don't talk to those people, apparently.
Echo chamber.
Good for you. Yeah. Good
We're
for
gonna
you.
put it on a crunch wrap next time you go to Taco Bell.
All right, that's
It's
just
like-
sacrilegious.
It's like cane sauce. It's the only thing that makes it
Mixing all the
good.
foods together. Yeah.
So is it wrong to say the bald eagle?
Oh
Yep.
my
Wow.
god.
I think that's
Yeah,
illegal,
actually.
actually.
Then I won't say that.
The illegal eagle. Yeah.
The illegal eagle.
Mayor Black was gonna come after me. He's coming after you. for
No, I said I'm not
sure
going
now.
to say that.
Yeah, you're allowed to say what you're
didn't
not
say
going to
it.
say.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that.
Say it. He didn't
Right,
say it at all.
because a
didn't seem
bad
like you
person would
wanted
have
to.
said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have said
You weren't even thinking it.
Right. Who'd have thought that?
What?
Thinking of that, yeah.
Just establishing.
So I'm gonna go with a horse.
No.
That was gonna be mine.
What?
Keep going.
I know Brady's already afraid of this answer because he
Right.
hates horses.
I don't want this. This is a pro Brady answer because I'm going to eat the horse
Why would you?
to show dominance.
Yep.
Yep. Over the
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
horse.
and I'm going to have radish sauce with it.
So do you, ew, gross. Do you think,
So it would not be horseradish.
oh my God.
And just let that sink
my
and sit there,
God.
just kind of
And that's
everybody.
side B.
Do you think
We can't end on that one, baby.
do you think athletic horses taste better? Or
No,
lazy
no, no,
horses better?
no.
They're probably stringier.
Big fat dumb horses.
Ah.
That's the one I want.
That old gray mare don't taste like she used to be.
Don't
Put that
taste like she
somewhere.
used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
That was horrible.
Yeah, it was
Horrifying,
bad.
maybe.
Hey, yeah.
Not many people know that Cam was born in 1910.
His real name is Rhett.
This is my fourth clone, actually. Yeah, I'm on my
Ooh.
fourth
Oh.
life.
Good
Back to
throwback.
Season 2, episode 2.
Wow.
Yeah,
Or last
till
episode.
last week. Yeah.
So what kind of horse would you eat?
Well, no, I'm changing mine now.
That's a horse of a different color altogether.
Is that a Wizard of Oz joke?
It's a Wizard of Oz joke.
Thank
I
you.
see. Well, yeah, no.
I see. Noted. Moving on.
Put him up.
Another Wizard of Oz joke. Bert Lahr. He was Cowardly Lion.
I only saw Wizard of Oz once in my life, and it was later on into the life.
Who are you?
I was scared.
How did you? You're a Cowardly Lion. It's so perfect that I
there's
was
flying
doing that whole
monkeys
thing.
and stuff. Horrifying.
Correct.
Someone died on the set.
Somebody, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
That-
the guy
I
hung
also,
himself, yeah.
I saw that before I ever
Poltergeist,
saw
are
the
we
movie.
back to
We're back to that.
The
what you
munchkin
did?
hung himself in the background of the movie.
No, yeah.
No, you
Two.
can see
3 men
it.
and a baby.
No,
No,
it
there's
was
a
him
different
hanging
color.
himself on
Yeah,
the set.
Tom Selleck.
Tom
What?
Selleck
No,
hung himself?
no.
Tom Selleck had a baby?
We're crossing too many wires.
Munchkin on the Wizard of Oz?
All just
Clean up the
happening.
phone lines.
It's all happening. All right, you guys are cut off. Can I move on to the next question? Are you guys?
No. Hope was going to answer what kind of horse she was going to eat.
What kind
No,
of
I don't.
horse
It's
would
not
you
a
eat?
horse anymore. I changed mine because it was. Okay, well,
Of course, you would change your mind. Not a horse, of
because you
course.
said it, I
Mr.
can't
Ed.
do the same thing. I was gonna say a flamingo because they're a little,
Oh.
they're a little zesty, if you know what I'm saying.
I don't.
Don't. What is that?
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying. They're a little
Is
zesty.
flamingo meat
They're a
pink?
little flamboyant.
Yes, because of what they eat.
They eat
What?
a lot of tuna, so
I'm
that's
with
why they
you
get their
now.
Yes,
color.
okay.
They
I'm
eat
with you.
shrimp.
So I
They
would
eat shrimp,
pair it
that's
with
how
a
they get their
zesty
pink.
Italian.
Oh, zesty Italian. Okay, I get it.
I'll let that sink in. Whoever gets it, and whoever doesn't, doesn't.
When they get it, they're going to laugh.
Flamingo with zesty Italian. That's your deal.
If
A
you
zesty
feel the
Italian.
same way about
zesty
flamingos
Italian.
being zesty as I do, you'll get it.
All right.
We get it.
Or crab with 1,000 island dressing because I bet there's crabs on 1,000 islands. Ah,
Hey, there's a joke. That pays off right away.
I have never
See that one
been.
coming at all.
I have never been more proud.
That was wild.
All right. Next question. Next question.
Okay.
So I think there's a thing, correct me if I'm wrong, where you can alter the DNA of your child prenatal.
Yep.
That's wrong.
No, that's accurate.
Okay.
So
Really?
Yeah.
in that case, if you can do that, would you remove said like diseases that might be inherent to your
Oh, I
family?
hate this.
So there's a worst case scenario for this. I don't know if you guys have heard this. I don't want to get the
I started
country
off with
wrong.
the funny one, then I'm going
Yeah,
serious, right? Yeah.
This happened in one of the Scandinavian countries. I want to say Norway, but I could be wrong. It's one of
Because you
those.
can change the eye color and stuff
in
like
that
that.
area.
Like you can also probably remove a diabetes
Yeah.
gene.
Create a master race, as it were.
Oh, nope.
Nope. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Not happening.
Okay.
They removed Down syndrome, not through genealogy though, through like abortions. Technically, they removed Down syndrome from their society. In that sense, and that brought up a whole moral conundrum, which I
Okay.
think Cam's
Right.
touching on here. Is that
Right.
okay to do?
Right.
I don't know. That's a
And
gray
just so
area.
you know, I'm going to bring it back up at the end for the last question. So this
Oh,
is
so let's
just,
stew on this for a
just a
while.
little lull in the whole thing.
This is the setup.
And I did not mean to do that. Just turns out that that's a,
You did it.
a thing,
they're
apparently.
just that
Yeah.
good.
I'm just that good. Just that
I'm
good.
gonna- I'm
I'm
gonna-
so good at side B. I'll tell you what.
Big side B guy.
I'll go with no. Not to get all like faithful and religious, but I believe that God has a reason and a purpose for every single human being on earth. And there are a lot of wonderful children and human beings with Down syndrome or other illnesses, that there are life lessons that come through that for both of them and for all of us. And how God chooses to make us is what is meant to be, I guess. And while I think that there is a beautiful purpose in science and medicine, and we've come a long way in the advancement of how we treat diseases and chronic conditions and certain things, to alter somebody's genetic and DNA makeup before they're born, I
think
not to be divisive on
I
it,
will.
but that's my
I will
initial thought.
divide from you because I think that there are things that kids should not like. There are things you could pass on to kids that were choices, kind of, that the kid shouldn't have to suffer from. One of the main ones is like a kid being born with HIV.
It's true.
Is that fair? Is that because that doesn't change much besides they just have HIV, which is a big thing, but it doesn't change their mental processes or whatever. So you could remove that HIV marker and still have the same kid. I would advocate for that personally, just not to go out on a limb, but
My thought is not to counter you, because I think that's a great argument. Where do you draw the line?
Oh no, that's You do
what
this.
is
What's the
this
next
side?
thing?
What is
Right.
this
Yeah.
side? And I think that's where
It's impossible.
But you can make that argument with anything. Where do you draw the line with?
Yep.
But you could also say what doesn't kill me makes me stronger, right? So you do need to have some kind of illness or whatever.
Yeah.
That would, I mean, because if you basically breed it out of humanity, then we will become more susceptible should it be reintroduced later on.
And there'll be there's always a next thing too.
Right.
Like
I would think yes, if I could adjust anything, I would inject the appreciation for puns.
That's a gene you could
Absolutely.
do. Yeah.
I'm creating the gene right
I like
now.
it. I
for some
like
reason
it.
I'm imagining like a purple juice syringe. Like,
That would be like that. It would actually it's blue because it would be blue jeans.
Like Captain America?
oh my god.
Oh my god! Are you writing this on off the
That's
cuff?
top of my head right
Wow,
now.
you are so good.
Isn't
This
it right
is going to
there?
be tough because
Yeah.
I'm going to be at the next door over removing the blue jean.
Taking
You've
your
dealt
blue
with this
jeans
for
off.
you've dealt with this for 29 years now? Dealt with
Jesus.
this for 27 years now?
Yeah.
27.
25, yeah. You just
You're
double
very
aged them.
mature. You're very mature.
They have survivor's guilt.
All right, last question.
Cam, this is supposed to be fun and
We're
exciting.
bringing it back up. We're bringing it up. So Grayson said earlier about the whole ice skating thing. Like you should do something you're bad at.
Yeah.
What are you guys bad at that you would do?
I'm out on this one. Not applicable.
Wow.
It's true, though. He's great at everything.
Humility contest.
Sherry?
Oh,
can you
that's
jump
it.
in on that?
That's the one thing.
What's Rob bad at?
Humility. That's the one thing I'm bad at.
For sure.
His ego is through the roof.
I'm just too humble.
The most humble. He'll tell you all about it.
He's the most humble person ever.
That's my only fault.
According to him.
is how
Yeah.
humble I
That's
am.
so great.
My husband has actually told people when I try and dance, it looks like I'm having a medical emergency.
Oh, you're like Elaine from Seinfeld?
Like
Seinfeld?
I don't know what's wrong with my
Thumbs.
body.
There's a
It
lot of-
doesn't
yeah.
move how I feel like I look in my brain.
That's not what about dancing's for, you know?
Right?
Wait.
Yes,
It's-
that's
Just
fine.
gotta let the music
You had the right preposition as long as
That did not come out the proper way.
dancing's for.
between.
I just feel like I personify Footloose. I just feel it out, and I'm like breaking
banned
laws.
dancing in your town, you
In
just
my
rebelled?
house, dancing is banned, but I'm like rebelling.
Have you ever been hurt while dancing?
That's why it's banned.
I have hurt others.
You're
and
hurting
myself.
yourself and others.
Everyone else, yeah.
Confined dancing. All right.
Hope, what are you bad at? That you would like to practice and do.
I thought you called her a bad at.
What are
You are one bad at.
BA?
That's right. I would say any sport, probably. Just sports in
I would like to be
general.
better at sports balls.
Well, we're golfing.
Probably.
We're golfing
Was
tomorrow.
I know, and I'm not going to be good at it. But
Was the Ladybug story
It'll be
about
fun.
Hope when she
No,
was playing
no.
t-ball? Come on.
No,
Such
but that's a
great
different.
story.
Yeah, but she was the one who would be cleaning off second base. She'd go out there. She'd run past second base, stop and clean it off.
I didn't want there to be sand on it.
Right.
My
know?
favorite was to chase the shadows. That was
Yeah,
my
like
playing
that was
soccer.
in soccer. Yeah, just like the ball would be like right next to me. I would have the ball, but I cared about the shadow next to me. I would be like running, chasing my shadow.
Her own shadow.
My own
So
shadow.
funny, yeah.
For the actually to be, you were taller than most of the other kids. So the ball would, in soccer, it would go down the field, and she would be the first one to the ball, and people would be yelling, "Kick it into the goal!" And she's like, "Nope." I'm waiting for. I'm looking at my shadow right now, and why would I want to kick this
Important
ball?
things going on.
I have no. Why would I want? The ball never did anything to me.
I was providing entertainment.
You did. Ow,
I have always been a performer.
You always
Hours
have
and
it.
hours of entertainment.
Yeah, people used to come to the softball games just to watch you.
That's right.
Their own grandkids, heck with them. Yeah.
Sorry, your own kids aren't entertaining enough.
Wow.
I'll help make things more bearable and happy to
And
help.
that's side B.